Hey guys, so today my video is like a plea of desperation. I need help. No, just kidding, kind of, but this is one of those videos where I have some advice to give and some tips, but then I also I need your advice and your tips. But essentially, I'm going to be decluttering my cookbooks. I wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm struggling with, so maybe you guys can help me out, but I'm really struggling with meal planning. I really wanted to get back to the basics, and so I really broke it down. Like, what is going on with meal planning that I'm failing to get dinner on the table consistently, and I'm failing to eat the foods that I want to be eating. So what I did was I started breaking it down. I listed out my process. I listed out why it's so important to me that I am eating, the types of foods that I want to be eating. And then I listed out my challenges and where my struggles are. I guess I can quickly tell you a few of those things. Why is it so important to me? The general health of my family, money. It's cheaper to eat at home instead of relying on processed and packaged meals. Maintaining and losing weight. I've been trying to lose this baby weight for so long, and I keep hitting roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. And I know that a big chunk of that is my meal planning, and that I've been relying on eating out too much. And then the last thing, well, it's not really last, it's also incredibly important to me, is that training my child to have good habits and to be eating at home and to be eating good foods and get used to doing that and not be used to eating McDonald's. Then I decided to list out my process, and my process is just a little bit like, I usually plan 2 weeks at a time. I look at what dates we have coming up, like if there's certain things that we definitely will be going to like someone else's house to eat, or, things like that. Also try to consider the serving size of whatever I'm making. And then I just figure out what I need to eat for 2 weeks. And I try to only go to the grocery store once every 2 weeks. And then maybe like a drop-in trip, like, ooh, I didn't buy lettuce last time, or I forgot something, or something wouldn't last that long. So I guess that is the first step, is that I plan 2 weeks at a time. And then, you have to think, where do I get my inspiration from? One thing I do is just ask my husband, is there anything that you've been wanting to eat lately? If there's anything I've been wanting to eat lately. Another thing I'll do is grab a cookbook. Another option I do is sometimes I cook through a cookbook. So like if someone gives me a cookbook, my grandmother gives me cookbooks all the time. And so if she gives me a cookbook, sometimes I'll just start cooking through it. Like I literally start at page 1 and then just flip through and cook every recipe that looks appealing to me. And then another way I do is, if we have ingredients laying around that I know are going bad, I will plan specifically to eat those meals that include those ingredients. I rarely ever use the internet for inspiration, simply because it is way too overwhelming. I can't deal with the amount of information. I could look at recipes on the internet for hours and not come up with anything. The next thing I did was list the challenges and why I feel so blocked, like why I feel like it's such a struggle. One is just like I'm having trouble finding a moment of clear-headed time. Like, I don't know. I've just been having trouble clearing my mind and planning in general lately. Like I just have all these like thoughts, boom, 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 boom. And it's just like, it's really been struggling. I've really been struggling with that in general. So that is probably challenge number 1. 2 is my baby, trying to plan around him and, make sure there's something that like I'm pretty certain he will eat, or I can at least encourage him to eat, so that I don't starve him to death. But also at the same time, I want to be very persistent about making sure that he's constantly introduced to new foods and, different tastes and textures and different things. So planning around him is an issue. Another issue I'm having around planning is that my plans keep falling through. So it's like I'll make this plan, and then all of a sudden I get more information and I'm like, well, that plan's irrelevant. Or like something will happen, like my husband's mother broke her leg. I didn't plan for that. And, it's just like I'm having trouble making plans. They just keep falling through. And so that's an issue that I have going on. And then lastly, I'm like, you know what? But this kind of goes back to clearing my mind. I'm like, a big part of my problem is I just have too many options. So that is why I'm decluttering the cookbooks today. That also goes along with all of the decluttering that I've kind of been doing. So I figured, you know what? Let's declutter the cookbooks. However, I decided to take the longest route possible to declutter cookbooks and try something completely different than I have ever done before. And so let's just start decluttering, and then I'll kind of talk through what I did while we're decluttering, okay? So, I'm not sure if I decided to go through my cookbooks, and so this was one of my problems. I'm so tired of like all the cookbooks. Anyways, I decided to go through all my cookbooks and see like, are there any recipes in here that I continuously go back to? And that is what all these little pieces of paper are. This cookbook, as you can see, there are no recipes in here that I felt like I couldn't live without. So I literally thumbed through each and every cookbook that I have to see how many recipes there were. And what I found, there's something on that one. What I actually found was that, like, this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you would have asked me, I would have said this is a can't live without cookbook for me. I use it all the time, blah, 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 blah. And I would have made all these fun excuses. There's 5 recipes in here. This one as well, I would have said the exact same thing. There's actually 2 recipes in here, but they're both on the same page. I was like, man, how many, after I got started, I was like, how many of these cookbooks actually have less than 10 recipes in there that I'm actually referencing? And I was super surprised that it was almost every single one of them. This one is a cookbook that I love. I love the recipes in here. I think they're delicious. They're paleo, low carb, which is like perfect for my body. I don't ever eat super low carb, and I don't ever really eat paleo. And I don't ever eat paleo. I don't subscribe to programs like that. But staying kind of low carb is like perfect for me. That triggers me to lose weight. I know that's what I need to be doing, and yeah. But like this cookbook, I hate the layout. Like, look at this layout. I don't know. Can you guys see that? Does that bother anyone else? So that's another issue for me when I'm making things. I want layouts to be super, super simple. So all of these that I've showed you so far, like this one had 0 in it. I would have told you that I love that cookbook. There was nothing in it I ever make. Magpie, this is something my grandmother gave me. This is one of those cookbooks that just makes you feel bad about yourself. If I'm a terrible baker, it just made me feel awful about myself. I was like, yeah, I would like to try that. And then I like read the steps, and you know, you got to make pie crust, and you're doing things overnight. Can you even see? Okay, sorry, I had a battery change, but I don't know where I was at, or a memory card change. But anyways, like this recipe, you know, you have to make this dough, which takes forever. You got to chill it overnight. Like, no, I'm not that good of a baker. Well, I tried to make pie crust like several times, and it was awful, so no. This is actually a cookbook I'm keeping. I just got this one, and it does really interest me. We love using our smoker. So, yeah. I'm actually keeping that one for now because I kind of want to cook through it like I was talking about earlier. This is another one that was interesting to me and for my husband. It's grilling, so same with that. I'm going to keep that one. This is one of those cookbooks I'm talking about that is just absolutely terrible layout. I mean, look at all these stories and stuff. I can understand that people might appreciate books like this, but I don't want all that extraneous information. Like, one of my least favorite things in the world is when I'm looking at people's blogs and the directions to the recipe are hidden in like blog form. And so it's like, yeah, me and my kids, like, they're like, beat the eggs. And they're like, yeah, this is a step I really got my kids engaged in. And they had a lot of fun beating the eggs. And we learned about chickens and eggs and blah, blah. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I get it. I guess if you follow that person and you're really in tune with their life, it's better. But when for something like a recipe, like I just want the ingredients and the directions. Air fryer cookbook. My grandmother bought me an air fryer for Christmas. I have so far not fallen in love with it. I actually don't care for it much, but I'm going to keep trying to, I'm going to use it a little bit more and see if I can't find some love for it. This is a book that I actually have had forever, but I am going to hold on to for now. I do want to start using my slow cooker a little bit more, and everything I've tried out of there has been delicious. So I am going to hold on to that one for some inspiration. Another one, if you would have asked me, I would have said, oh, I love that book. Do you see any recipes? Nope. Oh, here's a good one. So this is the best of Cooking Light, and I love Cooking Light. Do you see how thick this book is? Let's see how many pages it has. Over 500 of our all-time greatest recipes. Awesome, amazing book. I looked through it and I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think that means there was another one that I took the sticky note off of. 6. 500 recipes, I wanted 6. Quick and easy, 2, 3 probably. 140 recipes, and I wanted 3. Get the rest of these. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save that lovely for last. Bob Warden's Slow Food Fast. This is actually a book that I really enjoyed. I cooked through this one twice. It was delicious. It's an Instapot book. I would recommend it to anyone. Some of the best Instant Pot recipes I've came across. If you can see how many I actually did decide to keep out of that one. I debated whether or not to keep that book, but I just felt like I was done with the majority of it, so I would just pass it on. This one has like 6, and then this one I'm holding on to for now. It's our smoker cookbook, but this is one that I don't really like just because of all the extraneous information. Like, this is one that has all kinds of like family stories and, you know, about, it's Paula Deen's sons, I guess. So there's just a lot of crap. There's sections we don't use. We don't use the fried section. We don't really use the grilled section. We really just use the smoked section. So anyways, hold on to that for now, but I have a feeling that one's going to get with the program soon. This was super dirty. I've had this for years. This was my cookbook that I would just throw stuff in. Here's the empty binder pages. Whoa. Let me see. This is hard to show you, but anyways, this is the one, like, if I did find something that interests me off the internet, I would just throw it in here. I took all these pages out. That's why they're all out of the things, but you see what I mean. You get the program. This is a really common way to go about storing recipes, and this was okay. However, what I found was that once again we had the issue with layouts. I didn't care for the layouts. I had too many things in here. It needed to be decluttered. I was running out of room. There were a ton of things I was just holding on to that we may have made once or we may have never made. So that needed to go. Plus it was dirty. It's just kind of got that feeling to it where it's been in the kitchen for so long. I mean, it's probably 10 years old or so. So anyways, I decided to do this maybe possible major time waster. I've been debating back and forth. I decided to make my own cookbook. And this is my cookbook now. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. Nope. Okay. Let me see if I can scooch it back just a little bit. There we go. So this is my cookbook that I made. I need tabs for it so I can organize it, but I took every book that I had that I wanted to get rid of, and I typed out all the recipes. And so there were many ways that I could go about doing this, but I decided to retype every single one of them so that they would be in this friendly layout and that I could feel happy when I looked at them. Okay, so that took me 15 hours. I estimated that I spend 15 hours a year meal planning anyways, the way I'm going about it. So if it saves me any time meal planning, having all my recipes in one book, you know, it will pay for itself a little bit. I don't know that I will ever get 15 hours saved out of it, but there's that. And I do, like, it's awesome. I have like this awesome cookbook that, I don't know, if anything were to happen to me, I would be like, hey husband, get rid of every cookbook I own and just cook from that one, because this is all of our family recipes. Like, these are all the things that we make all the time, over and over again. So, like I said, I need tabs, and we have like sauces, but basically there's over 50 entrees in here, and what I decided was, so I did the math, and I'm like, you know, we would have to eat, if every entree lasted 2 days, which leftovers in my house are like a necessity. Like, I am all about leftovers. I don't want to cook every single day. I like to have like days where there's just food ready to go and I just need to reheat. So yeah. But anyways, I was like, you know, if every recipe in here lasted 2 days, which that's just a rough average, that would be 100 days of food until we had to eat something over again. So yeah. Like, I think literally I can just cook from this cookbook and then pick a cookbook to be cooking through, and that can be my meal planning. We will see how it goes, because this is all food that I know how to make. I've adjusted some of the recipes in here to suit our tastes. But these are all things that I've made before. I know that we like. I know that are good. They turn out right. And yeah, so I'm super excited about my new cookbook. So yeah, let me know what you guys, or let me know what you think. Was that just a complete time waster? Because my husband was kind of like, oh honey, I don't know about this project. You know what I mean? Here you're struggling with all these different things and you want to spend 15 hours and make a cookbook. I don't know. So we'll find out. But however, I am proud of it regardless. I think it's going to be awesome. Anyways, so yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know about like how let me know some tips. You can psychoanalyze me too. If you think I wasted my time, just be nice and tell me that, you know, I think that you can tell me that, you know, April, I think that you did a really good job and that cookbook's really something to be proud of. However, I think that you are avoiding such and such, or you are overlooking such and such. Be nice. Let me know. Yeah, because sometimes when you're looking at your own life, it's so easy to miss things that other people see and are afraid to tell you. So let me know if you see something. I'm going to put everything back so that you can have a before and after. Yeah, let me do that really quickly. Okay, so I wanted to share all the cookbooks that I'm getting rid of and make mention that I'm getting rid of 14 books, and I lowball estimated, say 300 recipes per book. That is 4,200 recipes. So I guarantee you there's every bit of 5,000 recipes there. Like, that is a lot of clutter. That is a lot of inspirational clutter. So yeah, I did want to mention that. So I got rid of all of this and I turned it into this. And that's pretty awesome. I also wanted to mention before I put the paper towels back and do the after shot that I gained use of an electrical outlet that I have been like trying to use lately for the air fryer. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could get to that stupid outlet. Well, now I can get to it. So yay. There we go. And then I'm going to put the paper towels back here and we'll do an after. Yay. I'm so excited. One last thing I want to mention, and then I'll let you go, is that if you are interested in doing something similar to what I did, or even for just a few recipes, I got the template off of Google Docs. I just had to take out the lorem ipsum and, you know, put the recipes in, so it's already formatted. It was pretty. So yeah, I did that, and it took me about, I could do roughly 7 recipes in an hour. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but that seemed to be like the average was about 7 recipes per hour. So if you're interested, know that's how long it's going to take you. Know that's a rough estimate of how long it will take you, and know that there's a template available on Google Docs, and it's super easy to use. That is all for today. I hope there was something of interest or value in there for you, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye!